Hi class, welcome to IS 371. I'm Professor Fahmi Jalani. Today we will be taking a look at chapter 5 on implementation issues. We take a look at the human nature, motivation, the structure, uh, policy, and what the hurdles and some of the impact. So in human nature, in a workplace, few things you need to take note. Basically, motivation and what motivates the employee, other than money, right? It could be self fulfillment or interest, um, and job security, responsibility. Even if let's say he has a family, for example, kids, parents to take care, um, and probably personal goal. Staff could be wanting to work there to build his career, for example. Okay, personality of employee. Okay, whether he's humble, he's knowledgeable, willingness to learn, very positive the job. Um, Also a leadership skill, for example, it could be a future manager or management. Okay, what the values, okay, and also ethics. Right? Uh, Basic motivation. One of them we take a look at. I mentioned pride, self-interest, success. Okay? Uh, Different people has different motivational factor. Right? Uh, so let's take a look at what's the basic elements. uh, Pride. Okay, see that the importance of the work. It could be completion or dedication of the work. Okay, self-interest, reward, and discipline. Other than salary. Okay, a person could be trained as a programmer and he feels an achievement when completion. Okay, and being successful in a team, for example. Yeah, that's his motivation factor. As we all know, the different types of personality of a human being, especially employees. Okay, and sometimes a person could act or in a different way at certain times, and more than a person could be more than one uh, personality. Okay, and working with different people, it's quite a challenging task where you try to blend in, you try to compromise. Okay, and you try to leverage the strength and weaknesses. Okay, so here we take a look at the different types. For example, commander, more on a military. You have demand, forceful. Okay, drifter, go with the flow. Okay, laid back, like discipline. Attacker, uh, was very angry, critical. Could be a perfectionist or egoistic. Okay, pleaser. I think pleaser, kind, thoughtful, self-sacrificing. More like I don't know. Could be a yes man, for example. Performer, witty, charming, focal point, pleaser and performer could be part and parcel. Avoider, dependable, consistent, avoid extra work. Okay, analytical, very meticulous, discipline. Okay, precise, detail oriented, and achiever, very result oriented. Okay. So in terms of leadership, value and ethics, the third point, uh, for goals, good leader we have clear vision and set goals. Okay, a good leader, right? For especially for project manager, training. Okay, there should be support and training too. Okay, and they are able to accept failure and try to minimize it, because people make mistake, okay, and nobody's perfect, okay, and you learn from your mistake, and you learn it fast, okay, and also you reward people with good result. Next, we take a look at organization structure. Usually these are basically chosen by management, top down. This they will influence the policy, okay, complex relationship, okay, different layers, okay, different teams, different department, different responsibility, line of authority, who's in charge, okay, who do you report to, okay, which we can see here in the next slide. This is basically a traditional org chart where we have president on the top, followed by probably vice president of the different department. Okay, we have PR, finance, IT, legal, marketing, and HR, and we have the business line, two different lines. Okay. For example, we have CFO. In this case, the Chief Information Security Officer reporting to the Chief FO, which is quite typical because the next powerful man or influential man in the company is the finance officer or chief accounting officer, where he controls the finances, and usually that's the style reporting. Okay, or maybe as the company get bigger, you have a chief information officer, okay, and the chief information security officer reports to him, or chief technology officer, which we can see here. We have the more technological reporting line, okay, where the chief information officer is in charge of the project manager and also database, okay, and also the chief technological CTO, okay. As compared to a flat organization, usually startup, for example, okay, so in this case limited top bottom, okay, one man show, or several guys do several things at the same time, okay, they work together, fast decision maker, okay, more confident, okay, security policy abstract, because when you start up there's pretty much not much focus on security, okay, more like brainstorming, okay, so basically you make decision fast as a leader, okay, etc. No authority, okay. So on the opposite side, we have too wide of a control. So in this case, a person could be in charge of finance, logistic, technology, all at the same time, okay. And so when you have a problem, usually you will solve it, and no time to talk about it unless it's really big, right? And you will require people with high capability to make decision, okay. So if in the event of regulatory, so you might face some difficulty, and also security policy. So let's take a look at what the advantage of having a hierarchy organization or top down. They are specialized, okay, very clear who do what, okay. Usually each individual will have their own knowledge, and it's quite complex, okay, as compared to disadvantage senior leader, okay. On the top is what they say, helicopter view. They don't know what's going down in the bottom, or any problem they are facing in the bottom. That's where you have problem, and by the time you escalate to the top, it'll be quite late. That's why we have the union, right? Message from senior leaders, okay. So by the time the decision from the top get to the bottom, it could be several layers or several days, and could be the message be changed, okay. There's like accountability. Usually when there's a problem, they try to push it top to bottom or even side, okay. Communication breakdown, okay. I mentioned about transparency, and too many people have different views as the work flow. Next, take a look at apathy. So in most organization, okay, employee do go through this indifference, okay, or lack of motivation, okay, and sometimes they have personal problem, okay, which could affect their performance, okay, where some policy will ask you to engage on communication, okay, awareness, or maybe mental health, okay, right expectation, okay, some redundancy, maybe certain jobs require 2%, and the other guy going on standby, also reward and compliances. Moving along, companies are required to have support from the top, which is executive management, especially in implementing security policy, risk and awareness, okay. Okay, was the success, okay, of the implementation. On the downside, we do have some misstep in this case, in terms of implementing or selling information for security policy to the management, okay. For example, unclear purpose, okay. What's the point of having a new firewall or upgrade certain things, okay. Some doubts whether so far we don't have any attack or malicious problem, so why do we need to spend more to have this, for example. Also insufficient support for leadership. Some companies say is baggage is something not important, okay. Lack of incentive, okay. Lack of candor, low tolerance of bad news, okay. And also complexity, okay, which is we need to hire more people to take care of this security issue. So before, during, and after policy, so we take a look at things to do. For example, what are your objective, what things to do, what needs to pay attention, okay, right. Pretty much is to protect the business, okay. What the reporting next, okay. Who do what and when and how, roles and responsibility, things they need to be aware of, okay. Reinforce employee in this case, for example, it could be training, okay, or information. That's where HR comes along in terms of implementing policy for security wise, okay. So it protects the employee, right, and also the business, is to prevent misunderstanding, okay. And it acts like a fail-safe. So next, take a look at the diagram. This is basically relationship between HR policy and security policy, okay, where on the left you have security policy, and on the right HR policy, which they intertwine, where in the middle we have detective and privacy control and how they handle violation, okay. and lastly is disciplinary process. Okay. So how do we approach implementation, change model? Okay, so we need to create a state of urgency. Okay, form powerful coalition. It could be other department, could be finance, HR. Okay, and create a vision for change. Okay, from there you transition, okay, to implementing the policy, by communicating the vision, remove obstacle, okay, create short-term win, build changes, okay, anchor the changes in the corporate culture, also reporting, not forgetting. So we do need to take a look at or creating new roles and accountability. In this case, ISO, the Information Security Officer, Executive, Compliance Officer, in terms of legal or regulatory, data owner, where they keep the database, reporting to the data manager, data custodian, user, and also auditor. Okay. So, having said that, you need to tie in both policy, performance, and accountability. Take note that to report any violation by employee, okay, any incident, try to avoid it, and also try to complete the security awareness. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the class today. If you have any question, please feel free to email me. Stay safe. Thanks. Bye bye.